with you on the floor. And I'm so grateful for my Filipino family. Even as you were worshiping, I couldn't worship with you without just crying. Watching the faces and watching the young people, watching the next generation in the Philippines. And part of the reason I'm showing that is not to show what we are doing, because I want you to know even the story when Paul Yalo, about 20 years ago, when he came to my life, he is similar to very many of you that is out here that maybe are struggling, trying to figure out. Maybe there was some guilt from the past, shame for today, fear for tomorrow. You're wondering how you're going to be able to do it. But I want you to know that during this time, we were in the presence, soaking in the presence, being overwhelmed by Jesus. We were having a prayer assembly. There was all these people that wanted a solemn assembly in chair 2. And the Christians, they wanted to fight from chair 2, but we said, no, we need to get back into chair 1. There's a storm going on, and this storm is so severe that we need to make sure that we are living in a place like our friend. And I love Pastor Joe, by the way. I've had the honor of ministering with him in Cebu and visiting there and being there with their leadership. But what he was saying, there's a shaking going on. And what he described is that chair number 3 is being shook. Chair number 2 is being shook. But he said there is something that is unshakable. There is an unshakable kingdom. And there's a shakable person. His name is Jesus. He is ruling and he is reigning in the middle of everything that is taking place. So Pastor Joe, or Bishop Joe, reminded us that in the middle of this shaking, the important part for us was to get into chair number 1. And I'm so grateful for Paul Yaro, my Filipino son, because he helps me. I know how to be a lion. I know how to fight. I am a Norwegian Viking. I live in America, but I have that fighting thing in me. We're going to do something. We're going to take back. But he says, no, Daddy Lay. We need to spend time with the Lamb. We need to be with Jesus. We need to go lower, not higher. We need to become smaller. That's been his message. So we spent some time together, 3.5, 4 hours, and the presence of Jesus came into that hotel room in a Avari hotel. Oh, when you have His presence, you have everything. If you have everything and you don't have His presence, you have nothing. And then suddenly as the presence came in, the next thing that filled the room was His peace. Peace came over us. And as we felt Jesus, the Prince of Peace, there was no longer storms on the inside. And we could leave that hotel room. We jumped in a vehicle with guards with guns and machine guns in the front of us and behind us. We headed to the stadium where we had advertised that anyone that is sick in the region and area, Muslims, comes to this stadium because Jesus is going to be in this stadium. And when Jesus shows up, good things is going to happen. And we said, bring the lame people and they're going to walk. Bring the blind people and they're going to see. Watch what Jesus is going to do. And there was no confidence in ourselves. It's called faith. And it's a very risky business. We knew we had to walk on water. But to walk on water, you have to get out of the boat. And you cannot stay in the boat if you're going to walk on water. So we took a risk and we announced all over on television, on posters, everywhere we announced to people, come to this stadium and watch what Jesus is going to do. Make the story short, we came into the stadium that you saw there in the end. And there was a lot of tension. And we were coming up there with the guards. And I had some of the top Muslim imams that are my friends that walked with us up on the stage. And as we stood up on the stage, suddenly the peace that was in us suddenly filled up the whole stadium. So from the storm and all the radicals that was all around, the presence of Jesus filled up that whole stadium. I'm saying that as an encouragement for you, because when you're saying it is dark, it is difficult in the Philippines, there is hardship, there's opposition, right in the middle of there's a different way, and this is going to be my message today. There's a different way of operating. You can try to roar as a lion, and you can try to go to fight, and the enemy wants to wear you out.